Hello and welcome to Missing and Tattooed. It's Season 1, Episode 7. Today I bring you the extremely desperate case of Douglas Swanson. He disappeared 4 weeks ago from Jacksonville, Florida. He went to a party. He came out of the party. He got his car stuck in a ditch. His friends pulled him out of the ditch, and that was the last time he's seen. It is extremely urgent that he's found. Hello, everyone. Today we're fortunate to have the mother of a missing man. Douglas Swanson went missing December 14th, and he hasn't been seen again. And we have his mother, Cheryl, here today. Welcome to the show, Cheryl.
Thank you so much.
Could you please tell us about your son's disappearance?
Absolutely. Doug was called by a friend that he hadn't seen in a couple of years, invited to an ugly sweater party to celebrate Christmas and help her celebrate her birthday. Doug's wife wasn't able to go because she had to work the next morning, which meant that she had to get up at about 3:30 to go to work. So he goes to this party. When he leaves this party, I don't know if he got caught up in some wet ground or was just showing off too much and the truck just got away from him. But he ended up in a ditch right around the corner from the party. So he called the friend whose party he was at, and asked her to come and get him out of the ditch, which of course she did. And when he left there, he said he was going to the beach, which is where his favorite watering hole is. But she also said that when she heard his truck leaving, it sounded like he was going more in the direction of home. So his wife woke up about 2 a.m. instead of her usual 3 or 3:30, and he wasn't there. So she called him. He didn't answer. She sent him a text message. He didn't respond. So she decided to go out to his favorite watering hole to see if he was there, and didn't find him. And so she continued to drive around that area to some of his friends' houses to see if he was just kind of hanging out with his friends and just, avoiding going home because I'm having a good time kind of thing. She called me around 6 or 6:30 in the morning as she was getting to work. And I kind of took over the search from there while she was at work, driving around the route that he may have taken home from the party, going to his apartment, knocking on the door, seeing if he was there. Then when she got home, we continued to go and look some more because there were several different routes that he could have taken if he were going home, and also several different routes if he had been going to the beach. So finally that evening we decided, we needed to report him missing because this is just not like him. He's never done anything like this before. Things in his life were going super, super well. He just gotten raised at work. He just got financed to buy his grandparents' home. He was going to have his son for Christmas Eve. There was so many things going on positively in his life that it made no sense for him to just walk away. And especially since he's never done anything like that before. So we decided to go ahead and report him missing. Apparently, initially they took what they call an information report, because grown men are allowed to just walk away if that's what they want to do. There's no crime in that. The following day, which was Monday, my son's wife tried all day to get a hold of the detective, left many voicemails, never got a return call. So the following morning, Tuesday morning, we went down to the police department to meet with the detective face to face and ask what was going on with regards to the search for him. At first we were told that he was just a missing that he was just a person that had walked away. And so based on our insistence, she said she would take it to her supervisor, to determine whether or not they would bump it up as an official missing persons case and send out bulletins. We went and met with an attorney who suggested that we hire a private investigator that had ties within the law enforcement community. So we did. And with his assistance, and I truly believe it was with his assistance, they finally made the determination later that Tuesday evening that he was, in fact, an official missing person. So they sent the bulletin to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the NCIC, the national database. From there, we've just been doing ground searches, just driving around, looking through parking lots, through hotels, motels, apartment complexes, corporate parking communities, parking garages to see if we could find his vehicle abandoned. That has brought us no closer. The police pulled his bank records, they pulled his cell phone records, and we're not able to gain any useful information from either of those. There's been no activity whatsoever.
So could you give us a good description of the vehicle that he was last seen in?
Sure. He was driving a 1996 white Chevy Tahoe, 4-door, 4-wheel drive with a white hood with a gray scoop on the front of it. The police department actually got a phone call the day after they got the case, and he reported that the 2 days prior, he had seen Doug's SUV at a convenience store where he was writing a hit and run report for a traffic accident. The detective asked him how he could be so sure that it was Doug's truck, and he said because of the scoop on the hood. That is something that you typically see on like a muscle car or something. He found it very unusual for it to be on an SUV. So we have real confidence that police officer did actually see my son's SUV. They pulled all the video records from that store. They did not see him or his vehicle, and where the vehicle was parked, there were no cameras.
The license plate number for that Chevy Tahoe is 031 MPM.
Yes, Florida tag 031, Mary Paul Mary. It expires in November of this year.
That's good. So I know what everybody's thinking is the first people that they would want to talk to for sure is the people at the party. So what did the police say about that?
They did interview several people at the party and determined they got no leads whatsoever from those interviews. It was just your average festive block party, and there were no arguments, no bad guys there, nothing negative whatsoever, just a typical happy holiday party.
So anybody that's watched any sort of like criminal investigation programs knows that you can track a cell phone by where it pings off the cell towers. Have they tried to do that?
They did, and they said that those cell phone records provided no additional beneficial information whatsoever. His bank records have provided no information either. His credit card, his ATM, none of that has been used since he was last seen. And he doesn't ever carry cash, so he would have to use his card.
So I know that you're having a lot of problems with doing a search for him because you don't know what area to look for, but you did say something about possibly having a diver that might be looking, or that they have looked.
We did talk with a diver. He went and looked at some areas of interest, but concurred with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office in that none of those waterways were deep enough to hide his vehicle.
So you had you have a Facebook page?
We have set up a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/bringjrhome. We also have an email account at bringjrhome@yahoo.com for any information anybody wants to send. And we set up a donation account at giveforward.com, the Bring JR Home Fund, to help us to gain more funds for a reward, which is now at $8,800 and growing every day.
Douglas Swanson Jr. Douglas is 28 years old. He's 5'9" to 5'10" inches tall and about 155 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. His hair was cut short on the sides and the top is slightly longer. He has a short beard and a scar on his left butt cheek on the mid-right area. He also has a tattoo on his chest of an American eagle with spread wings, a tattoo that says Swanee on his back in Old English lettering, a tattoo of a palm tree on one arm, fast on left inner arm above elbow. On right arm it says life, and he also has a sun on one of his arms. If you've seen Douglas or have any idea what's happened to him, please call Detective Richardson at 904-630-0500. Thank you, Cheryl, for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me and allowing me to share our story.
You're very welcome. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
If you like this podcast, you might consider liking us on Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/missingandtattooed. We also have a YouTube channel. It's www.youtube.com/user/missingandtattooed. Thank you so much for listening.